Hi folks, welcome back to Waygate Technologies. Dan here again with the Kraut-Kramer CL Go Plus. Today I'd like to address some feedback we've gotten on the instrument, that the precision is there, the overall capabilities of the instrument. It's a very powerful instrument, but maybe in some circumstances a little too complex for some operators. So I'd like to show you a couple of features, one that was new in the second release, and that is a measurement only mode where all the gates and ASCAN are hidden. So if we go to the measure menu, mode, and change that to thick only, now we have a simple thickness gauge where all we get is the reading when we couple up. Okay. Another feature that's been here since the beginning is the ability to switch between expert and inspector modes. In expert mode, every control in the instrument is available. So a level 3, a test engineer who has a lot of experience with precision gauging has access to all of the setup parameters of the instrument. Now, for each one of the probes that we support directly, we have provided an initial setup that just selecting the probe, doing a calibration, is going to work on most materials within the range of thickness of the probes most of the time. There are going to be certain situations, odd materials, oddly shaped parts, things like that, where you may have to make some adjustments to gate positions, gains, things like that. And those are things that take some skill to set up. There is a simpler mode that depends on that initial setup being correct, again, for most materials most of the time. So if we come over to the config menu and we come up to menu mode, notice right now that's selected as expert. If I select inspector, that is going to provide a much simpler set of menus. You can switch back to between inspector and expert mode at will. It is possible for the expert to set a password, and when an inspector goes to switch to expert mode, it will ask for the password. So if you're concerned about that, you can protect the expert mode with a password. In this case, I do not have that set because I want to switch back and forth quickly and easily. And the inspector mode is configured with this lockout control. So if we go to the lockout, we go right on config. Now here's each one of my menus. I can go right and left and select the different menus. There's a total of, 7 menus on the instrument. And for each menu, I can select which parameters are going to be visible in that menu in inspector mode. So for instance, on this on the config menu, menu mode is enabled, about is enabled, and those are the only two things that we've enabled for inspectors on that menu. If I go back to parameter, nothing is selected there. Alarms, nothing selected. Basically, this is right now set up for a very, very simple mode, where about the only things you have access to are the ability to change between inspector and expert. You can see about to see what software is installed and things like that. And you can calibrate and see the calibrated velocity. If I want to change which parameters are shown, all I need to do is select the menu, use the down arrow to come down to one of the parameters, pop the center, and now that one's checked, where before it was not. And the same, I can uncheck it, and that's how easy it is to turn on and off particular menu parameters. Okay, so I will confirm that that's the setup I want. If I switch to inspector mode, now when I go back through the menus, you see most of the menus don't have anything at all on them. And the very first menu just has calibration start and velocity. So I can choose to start my calibration. I can perform the calibration. Okay, so I can still calibrate. I can do the basic thickness gauge functions. and all I'm seeing is just the result. So there you go, a quick way to simplify what the instrument is showing the inspector, what controls are available to the inspector, helps for less experienced folks, helps keep them out of trouble. And again, supervisor who's created the inspection plan and so on for the inspectors can always come back, take the instrument, switch back to expert mode, and now, just like that, all of the parameters for the instrument are available to the expert mode. So thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, as always, please reach out to remote service at bakerhughes.com, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks.